Hello, and welcome to the Thirsty Bitches podcast, where we talk about anything under the sun, from books, entertainment, to self-help, and even a little spice. I'm Victoria.
I'm Kiara.
And I'm Katalyn.
And today we're going to be some petty hoes.
That was really loud. That was very intense.
Some of us will be petty hoes.
I'll be really petty.
We know. We've had this discussion when we talked about petty shit in books and entertainment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now we're just talking about petty shit in general.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited, as you can see, because
we know
petty is as petty does. It's part of my life.
You're so funny. But before we get started, we're going to jump into our quenchable moments. And if you're new here, quenchable moment is a happy or sane thing that has happened to us over the last week or so that we want to share with each other and with you. So to kick us off, Victoria, what was your quenchable moment this week?
So my quenchable moment is that I got my plane ticket out to, well, technically I'm flying out to Kansas City, but out to Wichita for my friend's wedding.
Yay. Is that the one that's in October?
Mm-hmm.
How exciting.
I'm very excited.
When is that?
It's the last weekend of October. If she could have had it on Halloween, she would have.
Okay, so my brother and sister-in-law, well, almost sister-in-law, they're also getting married in October. Mm-hmm. And if she could have had it on Halloween, she would have as well.
Yeah. So we've always known that she would have her wedding in October. Like, she's just always been that person. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited for her, and I'm happy that she met somebody who makes her as happy as her partner does, because the last guy that she was with is a human piece of garbage. So
perfect.
And they were together since we were from 16 to I want to say 25. They were together for a long time.
I feel like we all have to go through the piece of shit garbage, man.
Yeah.
Find the good one.
Yeah. And it's funny because when they did break up, I remember I have such distinct memories of us in college at 2021 and me telling her to break up with him and she wouldn't.
Well, she learned in her own time.
She did. And I'm glad that she did. And I'm glad that she met the person that she's with now because they genuinely are great for each other.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna hope for no snow for you then, because I know
we shouldn't get any snow in Kansas then.
Kansas is different than Colorado then.
Yeah. No, when in the 10 years that I lived there, we got snow maybe 3 times. It does not snow there.
All right.
It's just too dry.
Fair.
So yeah, no snow.
I wouldn't know.
I was gonna say just
actually no. When I lived in Boston, my very first semester in Boston, it snowed 2 days before Halloween.
Yeah,
it snowed. I had to go pick up Riley from the freaking airport while it was snowing, and she got there and she was like, "What the hell?"
That's the thing, anyways.
But that's not normal for Boston for it to snow early, at least with how the climate change has been happening. Mm-hmm. It doesn't snow until December, maybe. Mm-hmm. But so for it to have snowed 2 days before Christmas or 2 days before Halloween, it was weird.
I mean, 2 years ago, it snowed 3 days before my birthday in September. So
yeah, but you live up high elevation.
It's 4,800 feet. It's not that bad.
That's pretty high compared to the rest of the country.
Yeah.
Fair.
So anyways, what was your quenchable moment, Katalyn?
My quenchable moment is that I watched The Invitation last night.
That's so good. It's so good.
What I'm hearing is I now have to watch it.
Yes.
Okay.
We rented it on Amazon because we both were we don't really want to go to the movie theater and it's about the same price anyways. So her husband was also here while we were watching it, and her and I were simping over Thomas Doherty the whole time.
Oh God, how could you not?
Well, we were making comments and stuff, and he's just that's the whole reason you need to watch this movie is because he's attractive, and we were both kind of
yes,
yeah, and we were joking about the red flags in the movie, and we're just red's a good color on him, and he's just I'm done. I'm out.
I kid you not. So if you guys don't know what The Invitation is, it's a vampire movie, and you get the gist of that literally right away. Uh-huh. I literally was as we were getting to the movie, as she's showing up to the estate, and Thomas's character walks out, I'm just you could tell me right here that you're a vampire and you need me to join your legion, and I'd be where do you want to bite? Okay. The neck, the arm, the wrist. You tell me, bitch. You have this house and you want me to live with you,
right?
Bet.
darn.
You bet.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I made red flag jokes, and he was just like, I can't, because
I'm fully in my vampire renaissance. So like I'm a menace right now, guys.
Mm-hmm.
but anyways, so that's my quotable moment. Is we watched it, got to make comments without strangers getting mad at us.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm the same way. I'm a talker during movies sometimes. And so like with Emily, I can do it.
Yeah.
But like there's some people that I literally cannot do it with because they'll get angry with me. And I'm like, I don't know how to make it stop.
No, I can't be with talkers during movies. I have
Good thing we don't live near each other for Marvel movies.
No,
Then.
I know. I have 2 friends that I can go to Marvel movies with, and we only talk during like big moments. And it's usually just like, oh my God. No, we don't talk during movies.
Oh,
I tried to get really good because my last roommates in Boston, they don't like talkers.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would sit there and like mumble to myself.
Yeah. I mean, we don't do it in theaters usually.
It's just in theaters that I'm bothered by it. If I'm at home, I don't care.
Yeah. We don't usually do it in theaters. But anyways, Kiara, what was your quenchable moment?
So my quenchable moment was that yesterday I got to go with my roommate and her grandpa to the farmer's market. Oh my God, he's so freaking precious.
I was gonna say, I saw your story. So cute.
He's a precious man. He's 96, I want to say, 95, 96. Yeah, he's still driving. Like he's still like moving and grooving, guys. He does not act like he's in his 90s.
All right, goals.
So like he took us to brunch first. We went and got food, which was really nice. And then we walked around the farmers market a little bit, which was really cute. So if you're on friends of mine on Instagram, you saw that I posted a picture. It was just this really cute little area. They had tons of stuff. There was this pizza booth, and they literally like have their own like clay kiln that they've cooked the pizzas in on the back of like a trailer. Like they brought it with them. So you're getting like authentic like clay baked pizza at a street fair, basically. It was so amazing. There were so many wine vendors and bread vendors that's like all handmade. Tons of clothing and lots of farmers who brought their own produce and stuff, and they were selling it. There was like they had like repurposed like a short bus, like a yellow short bus, and they were using that as like where they had people coming in and like picking their own like fruits and vegetables. It was so cute. Like, and it goes through October 4th, I think. So we're gonna try and go back the next few weekends.
Good. Can I just say that since the beginning of the road trip, you have been fully in your female main character like journey.
You have.
Katalyn and I were talking about it in the van. We were like, we're living our main character lives. And I was like, actually, wait a second. No, Kira's.
I was like, no, we're not.
We're the sidekicks.
I don't feel like I'm living my main character life, but if you guys think I am, then I'll try and lean into that. We then went to like this cute little coffee shop, which I think I sent you a Snapchat about it, Katalyn. I don't know if I sent you, Victoria.
No, because you never respond to my snaps.
I literally send you Snapchats all the time.
No, you don't.
I literally sent you some, Friday?
Maybe.
Oh my God. Anyways, it was a cute little coffee shop that her grandpa goes to. They know him. Like he goes down there all the time. He goes on walks. He goes on walks every day. And he walks down there and they're like, oh, is this for Ed? And we're just like,
he's so cute. Oh, that's so precious.
And it was actually their 2-year anniversary, this coffee shop yesterday. And so they were giving out like free cute little cupcakes, or they call papos, which are like little itty bitty like ice cream cones. So they're like that big, and it's like one tiny scoop on like a little cone. Oh my God, it was perfect.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, so it was just like a really cute day. We came back, we finally did our laundry.
How'd that go? Finally find the laundry room.
We found the laundry room. It was upstairs.
Ugh.
We had 5 loads all together. We like mixed our stuff. We had 5 loads all together. We had to wash all of our towels.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we still have stuff to do today, but it's kind of expensive at this one. So we're gonna try and see if we can find a laundromat where it's a little bit cheaper that have like the industrial size ones. So we can do like larger loads for cheaper. Because we still have to do sheets and stuff.
So I'm currently washing my sheets, but I don't have to pay for it.
So that's yesterday was just so cute and fun, and you finally felt that like nip in the air. So
it was like 80 here yesterday, but it was still like crisp, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so it was I think 70 and it was like that dry nip that you get right when fall's about to like really take hold, and I'm like, I'm so excited. And of course Emily's like, I'm so cold the entire time.
So excited for fall. But another thing that I'm excited for
is being petty.
Is for us to talk about some petty shit. So
reliving.
I know that out of the three of us, I'm by far the pettiest.
Yes.
I blame being Black, raised in a white household. So
yeah.
Probably okay. So one of my like lighter petty things, and this is really recent. So when we got tattoos in Colorado,
stop.
I didn't think she was gonna start with this.
Rude.
I'm starting from the lightest to the darkest. Kiara wouldn't tell us what her tattoo was because she wanted it to be a surprise.
Oh, I knew.
And Katalyn already knew. So that's why I was like, surprise my ass. You just don't want me to know. So I decided after she had gotten it done, I wasn't going to look at it. Which it kind of worked in my favor because you didn't get the clear wrap on it. You got like the same kind of bandages that I did because I'm allergic to adhesive.
And I just was not comfortable getting the
derm.
Yeah, because you had never had it before, which is understandable. But yeah, so I was like, I'm not gonna fucking look at it. And I sure as hell did not. Wouldn't look at it.
She kept trying to show like, look, just look at it.
Trying to show it to me, and I'd be like, so
mean.
You wouldn't tell me. So I was like, all right, petty response in kind. And then finally Gabby just walked up to me and she's like, this is what it says. I was like,
okay. Stand you guys sometimes.
Okay.
You do this every year.
We can't stand
you back. Anybody loves it.
Why? Doesn't anybody love me? Doesn't anybody love Santa Claus? Yummo.
We were quoting this the entire road trip, guys.
And it was made exponentially better. To continue this sidebar, it was made even better when I showed Jen with two N's, the TikTok, the guy. I think he's Scottish, but he does an excellent Sid impression. And for a while, he went by Sid the Stallion.
Oh,
he would do Meg the Stallion as Sid the Stallion. It's so good. Anyways, probably in my scale of petty, the next one is so when I started my journey as a nail technician, I had gotten a job at a salon and spa in Harrisonburg, which is like 30-ish minutes away from where I live. And it just had the same problems that most spas and salons have, where it's just a lot of drama. It's toxic. It's just not a great place to work. But on top of that, there were employees there that were doing things that could cause us to lose our licenses. And I was not about to risk it for the biscuit.
No shit.
So I ended up getting a job at a different spa. And I was like, okay, I'm going to put in my 2-week notice. I'm going to be respectful because that's just what I had always done. But of course, spas and salons are kind of weird in that they don't typically do 2-week notices because they don't want you to steal their clients. The spa that I was going to be working at was like 30 minutes away. So nobody was going to go with me. And that was fine. That's not what I wanted. I was still pretty new there. I was like, none of the clients know me well enough to come with me. It's cool. I was like, I'm literally just doing this to help take care of the clients that I already had. So they were like, okay, fine, whatever. And like the owner just wouldn't really talk to me, which was cool because I didn't like her anyway. She was a bitch. But I came into work the next day and did my first appointment, which was like a 9 a.m. appointment. So I had to be up at like 7 that morning. I finished that appointment, and then the girl that I was apprenticing under, she came in and she was like, so they've decided for you to just not finish out your 2 weeks. So you're just going to leave after you're done with this appointment. And I was like, you had me drive all the way fucking up here to do this one appointment.
Yikes.
So I was like, all right, fine. So I went, did some retail therapy, went home, whatever. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to send them a nice little thank you note. So I sent a thank you note saying all of the things that we had talked about. I was like, you know, you're right. We should take this as a learning moment. You should really learn how to better run your business and maybe not treat your employees the way that you do. And then I sent it off, and it was sparkly and cute and fun. And then homegirl texted me like, I don't know, 3 months later, asking me like what that restaurant was that I had talked about one time. I was like, bitch, I'm not responding to you. Do not.
No.
Absolutely not.
The audacity of people.
So that one's one of my personal favorites. I did. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna send a fucking thank you note. And I told my mom that I did that, and she's like, Victoria. Like, it was nice and polite. I didn't say anything different than what they did.
Yeah.
I just made sure that they knew that they were the problem.
Yeah.
As you should.
Anyways, do you guys have any petty stories, or should I just keep going?
I do have one.
Okay.
So I feel bad talking about this because I literally just like left the situation.
It'll be therapeutic.
Yes.
That way.
Get it out, girl.
So at my last place, there's 3 of us. So
Mhm.
that's a lot of us, like, you know, in the kitchen doing things, cooking, cleaning, the works. And for the most part, like the bathroom and like the living room was like fine. The kitchen was the one that was like always ended up being messy. And if you live with me, you know that I like to kind of keep the area clean. I grew up most of the time not having a dishwasher at home, so like we've always had to wash our dishes and put it in the rack and put our dishes away once they were dry, which is something that I was like doing consistently in this apartment because we had a drying rack as well as a dishwasher. And I would just like put everything away that was in the drying rack because why leave it all in there to just put more wet dishes on top of the dry ones, you know?
Yeah.
But then a comment was made about a year ago.
So it was a year that you were doing this. Okay.
A comment was made that, oh, this one item in the drying rack is mine, so I'm not going to empty the drying rack. And I was like, what? And I like thought about it, and I'm just like, okay, whatever, like I'll let it go, like it's fine. But then like a week or 2 later, we have like chores that we would like rotate through, and one person had like baked a lot of stuff and had a lot of their baking things drying in the drying rack. Well, it wasn't this person's turn to clean the kitchen, it was the other roommate's turn. And when she did that, she didn't put the stuff that was in the drying rack away because none of it was hers. It was literally all the baking stuff. But this one roommate who didn't have to clean the kitchen was like, why isn't she putting this stuff away? Like, that's so annoying. Like, blah, blah, blah. And then she asked me to help her put away the stuff in the dryer. And I'm just like, absolutely the fuck not. Like, what? It's like they had like short-term memory loss of like what was theirs in the drying rack. And I'm like, that's literally all your stuff from like 2 days ago.
If you're gonna bake, like
they clean it up. Both of them would leave their stuff in the drying rack for like weeks. Like it would just sit there.
That's their problem, not yours.
And so I got to a point where I'm just like, well, if that's how we're gonna do, petty is as petty does, and I'm not gonna put away any of your shit in the drying rack. I know exactly what I use. I know exactly where I put it, and I'm gonna put my stuff away when I know that it's dry instead of putting more wet shit on top of the dry stuff and making it a huge pile of just like dishes on the counter.
Yeah.
I was like, no. I don't know if anyone like ever like realized what I was doing because no one ever said anything to me, and they just kept doing what they were doing, and I'm just like, I barely ever use the dishwasher because I use like the same things like consistently. I was using the same pan like every day, the same pot every day because like I'm a habitual eater, and so I'll eat the same foods for like every meal for like 3 weeks. And so I'm using the same dishes, and so I'm putting them back and I'm using them, and I'm not touching anything else.
Yeah.
I'm with you. See, that reminds me of the one time that I decided to live with people at the behest of my mother, and I never should have. And they would get mad that I wouldn't have like meals with them because they were like, we want you to have dinner with us because we consider you family, whatever. I'm like, okay. Not once did they ever invite me to have dinner with them. And I decided that I didn't want to because every fucking time they would make dinner, they would leave the pots and pans on the stove for days.
Yeah.
Still with food in them.
I cannot stand that. I'm the type of person who will, either if I'm taking it's a long process, I clean as I go, or I clean all my stuff right when I'm done.
Yeah.
My roommate and I just talked about this last night because her husband, my other roommate, is a chef, and last night he cooked them dinner, which is fine. Like, he doesn't have to cook me anything. And he made a comment about how when he cooks, he likes to cook because then my other roommate will do the dishes. And she's just like, or you could do like what we do and clean as you go, or before you sit down and eat, you clean it all up. Like, that just makes sense because after you eat, you don't want to do that.
You don't want to do dishes most of the
Well,
time.
I think it makes sense when you're a single person, but if you're a couple and you're a unit, it's usually one person will make and then the other person will clean.
And that's like
make it like a fair trade-off.
The situation that I'm in with my roommate best friend right now is she enjoys cooking, but she hates cleaning. And I was on my phone with my mom last night, and she was like, I got the best roommate. She just cleans all the dishes. She cleans up after me. It's so great. And I'm like, it's because you're like making me food. So like, I clean the dishes and like put them away and stuff. Like, it's just
like, when he has cooked for me before, like, I've like put some other dishes away, like wipe stuff down, like whatever. But like, even after she cleaned up like the dishes he used, and he like took their plates out, and she's just like, the dishwasher's dirty, put them in the dishwasher. He never puts stuff in the dishwasher, but that's a whole other issue. She's let it pile up before. Like, she's petty. I am not.
Oh my gosh. So what you're saying is we should have her on a petty episode.
I will not let them pile up, but I won't. I usually tend to not, as I said, I don't use the dishwasher a lot because it wasn't our dishwasher that was broken. It was the plumbing of our house was really shitty. And so we couldn't use a dishwasher because the plumbing just wouldn't allow for it. And so we were using a drying rack for the last like 15 years of my life.
So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand.
So guys, just be nice.
Living with people is hard.
If you live with people, if you see that it's dry, everything's dry, put it away.
Yeah.
Put it away.
Or you just find a good working relationship like you and Emily have, or like me and my best friend have. Like, we just click. We get it.
For me, it's great because like I like to like make sure like all the dishes are clean at the end of it. Like they're drying in the drying rack when I go to bed. And so when I wake up, I just like put them away. And then it's easy done.
Yeah. See, and this is how I know I wouldn't be able to live with somebody, because I am the type of person, I will make my meal, like rinse my dishes off that I've cooked with so that they're easier to clean, and then eat, and then clean everything all at once I'm done. Because I like to clean the stuff that I eat with. But my mom likes to clean really, really quickly. And I don't like to rush to eat because here lately I can't. It makes me sick if I try to eat too quickly. And so if I don't get to the dishes soon enough, she gets mad at me. But I'm like, I'll do them. Just leave them alone. I will do them within the next 15 minutes. And she's like, I'll just wash them. And I'm like, if you would just calm down and give me 10 minutes to finish eating my food, I will do all of the dishes, every single one that's in there. So
it's funny because this roommate would get mad if too many dishes were left in the sink.
But not on the drying rack?
No.
Okay. Anyways.
Like, make it make sense.
Oh my God.
I was like, are you fucking serious?
But now you're out of there.
Yes. And now you're living somewhere where you're happy with somebody that you're happy with.
And it just like, it went even more to the point where she's like, I take the trash out too much. And so I'm not going to take the trash out this week. And I'm like, if I told you that I empty the dishwasher too much, so I'm not emptying the dishwasher anymore, you would freak out.
Yeah.
Some people are delusional.
Like,
and not in a good way.
They live in their own universe.
I don't think I could live with them anymore.
Live and learn.
Yeah. Live and let God. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Speaking of people that are delusional,
You know a lot of them.
Yeah. So middle school for me was a really bad experience. Because we had just moved halfway across the country. So I was in a new town, all new kids, new kind of social area. It was just not great. And one day I went to go to the bathroom. And as a woman, when you go to the bathroom, you do the foot check. You see if there are feet to see if the stalls are open.
Yep. Yeah.
I had done that. And then a couple of days later, I start hearing a rumor about how, oh my God, Victoria is gay because she tried to watch me in the bathroom. I found out who was spreading that rumor, and it was Little Miss Queen Bee, or at least she thought she was until I was done with her. She was spreading the rumor that I was gay and that I wanted her. So I, dead ass, walked up to her in the middle of the atrium where everybody could hear us and said, first of fucking all, don't say I'm gay like it's an insult. Second of all, if I was, you were not the one that I would go for. So don't flatter yourself. Third of all, instead of worrying about what I'm doing in the bathroom, why don't you worry about your cheating ass boyfriend? And then I walked away. No. That was petty.
Petty is like
cruel.
I'm sorry, but middle school petty is probably the best time of being petty.
It was not. I was like, we're not going to do this. I'm not going to play this game with you all. And then they left me alone from that point on because I was like, listen,
nice.
I'm quiet, but I'm observant. So don't think that I don't see the shit that's going on around here.
Yeah.
Like the school is not that big. There was only maybe 200 of us in that grade.
Oh, sounds like my school.
Yeah. So I was like, you can suck my dick.
You can suck
my dick. One of the first times I had ever said fuck in front of people too, which was great. It was very exciting. I'm honestly shocked that I did not get in trouble. I don't think there were any teachers at the time.
And even if they heard you, they were probably like, you know what? Valid.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, some of my friends hadn't been there and then they heard about it later. They're like, what did you do? And I was like, I put her in her place.
Like I just did, what I should have.
I was like, she wanted to walk around acting like, first of all, being gay is an insult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was like, she needs to get off her homophobic course for that one, first of all. And I was like, second of all, I was trying to figure out who was in the bathroom stall. I don't give a shit what you're doing in there. You be doing cocaine in there. I don't fucking care. I had to go to the bathroom. Like, come off it. So she was hateful and wanted attention. And she was mad that I had bigger boobs than she did. I was a busty little thing at 13. I'm shocked that I got away with some of the clothes that I did looking back on it.
Oh, middle school.
What a terrible time it was.
No, I don't remember most of it, so.
My God.
I unfortunately remember a lot of it because it was a very traumatizing part of my life.
Yeah, middle school is gross.
Your girl was called Godzilla and had carrots thrown at her.
I was called a Wookiee and Sasquatch.
Yeah, hey, people up here love Sasquatch.
We saw that.
Yeah.
I know that in that area it would be a huge turn on.
I mean, but literally karma's a bitch, and I don't know what else this dude did, but he had something really horrible because he died a few years ago in a car accident. The guy who called me Godzilla.
Oh
yeah,
karma is a bitch.
And he was the passenger. He wasn't even the driver.
Oh
yeah,
unfortunate. It was bad.
I just know in 7th grade we were in like 2 different teams, and the other team had a burn book because Mean Girls had just come out. And I don't know what was in the burn book, but we had a whole lecture about it. That's what I remember from like 7th grade.
The name calling has dredged up another memory.
Oh no.
So the girl the girl that would call me Sasquatch or whatever, she did it because I was like shedding. But you all have seen how fucking thick my hair is. Obviously,
and it's very normal for anyone to shed. I shed so much. The hair that you find on the shower wall after I've washed my hair could make a wig.
So because I was tall and I would shed, she would call me Sasquatch. So I went up to her in the middle of volleyball practice. I was like, bitch, first of all, you're the same height as me and you shed just as much as I do. So if you're going to call me Sasquatch, you need to take a long, hard look in the mirror and call yourself Sasquatch. And we were the only two black girls in the school. And I was like, why the fuck are you harassing me when we're literally the same person in this situation? I was like, we should be on the same side.
Yeah.
I was like, we should not be doing this game back and forth with each other.
No.
And then she left me alone after that.
Nice.
When I get to a point, I'm just like, you know what? Fine. You want to do this? We're going to do this. But I'm going to ruin your life.
So. Damn. The guilt in me could never.
When I get to a certain point, you deserve it. Fair. With stuff like that, wholeheartedly deserved. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not going to be hateful to somebody that clearly doesn't deserve it.
No.
But in those situations, no. Yeah. They wholeheartedly deserve it. So I have a question. What is the pettiest reason you all have ended like a relationship, friendship, whatever?
I not so much like ending it. It's with my dad.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
So I have like not had this conversation with him, and there's a lot of conversation I need to have with my dad because as you guys know, I do not have a good relationship. Mm-hmm. But gosh, when was it? 2015, 2014? Mm-hmm. I don't know, maybe 2015. I think it was actually in 2015. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. My dad had messaged me, and my parents have been divorced since 2012. My dad had messaged me saying, hey, I want you to come over with your brothers on Monday. I have something really important to tell you guys. Just come over for like a barbecue. And I'm like, okay, well, I work on Monday. So like, I'll see if I can get time off, thinking it's just a barbecue. Like, whatever, I don't fucking care. Couldn't get the time off because I work at a gym and Monday is the busiest day. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. More lead time. So
I'm like, I would need this. It's literally Thursday afternoon. There's no way I'm going to get Monday off because my bosses are not here at all during the weekend, Friday through Sunday. So did my best and couldn't get it off. Come to find out on Saturday, my older brother comes up to Connor and I and is like, it is not a barbecue. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, Dad's getting married on Monday. And he didn't want you guys to know because he didn't want you guys to not come. And I'm like,
I'm not going to be there.
What? And so I was like, I texted my boss and I was like, never mind. I don't need that day off. Mm-hmm. I will be at work on Monday night. Like, don't worry. Mm-hmm. So I didn't go to the barbecue where he got married. And it gets worse. It gets worse.
Oh God.
This is what like stopped me from like talking to him for 3 years. Never responded to a text message, never went and saw him. Mm-hmm. I did not have a dad for 3 years. He didn't tell his own father, my grandpa. Didn't tell him anything. Didn't invite him.
Wow.
I'm like, this is your dad.
That takes a special kind of ballsy.
You just had a huge issue a few years ago when your mother passed away, when my grandma passed away in 2013. This is 2015, I think. Like, you should not be trying to pull this shit.
No.
I'm like, they've already redone at that point, they'd already redone the will because of the way he acted when we were moving grandpa out after the funeral.
Oh my God.
Which makes sense because it's grandpa wants the money and shit on his equities to go to the grandkids because we're the ones that are going to be able to use it. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, so you lied to me and my younger brother, who is the only one out of 3 of us who even wants a relationship with you at this point, which has changed now in our lives. The 3 of us are like,
unsurprising.
You lied to both of us. You did not tell us what this actually was. And for me, I'm like, if you had told me from the get-go that you were getting married, I would have tried harder to get the day off and I would have been there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, you didn't. You lied to me, because just like every other time in your life, no one matters except for you, not even your fucking kids. He didn't tell my grandpa, and that pissed me off. I'm like, your dad, the last remaining adult, like, parent in your life. I'm just like, so I cut off all ties for
Proud of
3
you.
years.
Good for you.
It was great. It felt so awesome. One less place I had to go during the holidays because I had my mom
I know,
and I had
God.
Adam's parents. And it was, no, the year that I finally like started talking to him, it was so chaotic because it was like we woke up at my mom's house early in the morning, went to his parents' house to do presents with the kids, went back to my mom's house to do presents with her, had breakfast, got ready, went to my dad's house, did presents with them and the kids, then went back to his parents' house. And then went back to it was a whole thing.
Gross.
I'm just like, if I wasn't talking to my dad, I wouldn't have this issue.
Yeah.
But it's okay because now he lives in Kentucky.
Even further away from you.
Like, I'm not coming out there. No.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna, they tried getting us to drive. They're like, can you guys drive down to Kentucky on your road trip? And I'm like, no.
Mm-mm.
I'd much rather drive down into Nebraska to see Asa.
Yeah, no, that's too far out of the
I
way.
actually like her.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
Yeah, absolutely not. But yeah, I literally cut off ties with my dad for 3 years because he lied to me.
Valid.
Yeah.
Just like, don't fuck with my grandpa.
I'm with you, dude.
Yeah.
God, that makes me think of, so that same friend of mine that's getting married, when we were in college, we were talking about our daddy issues, and I had told her what all had happened with mine, and we were still friends on Facebook at the time, and she was like, I don't like him, and she deleted him off of my Facebook.
Yes, queen.
She was like, we're done. I was like, all right then.
We're not doing that.
Yeah. No.
And he's still like not on there. I'm friends with his wife though.
All right.
She's nicer to me than he was.
I might have some petty stuff though once the wedding happens.
Oh,
because
that'll be exciting.
That whole part of the family's there.
Oh my God.
Dad, Jeannie, my Aunt Kathy, who refuses to acknowledge she has a brother. She says, my only brother that I had died in 1995. And I'm like, that's Uncle Bill. Like, it's bad.
Look at
that makes me like your aunt so much more.
It's so like so they sent the bridal party the seating arrangements, and I'm like, you put these people at the same table as Dad? She was like, it was either Jeannie or Kath, and I'm like, don't put Kathy at the same table as Dad. It's gonna be wild.
I'm so excited for the stories.
I'm also very excited for the stories. Oh my gosh. Katalyn, do you have a petty reason for any shit?
The only one I can think of was, my book that I got back with No Dust Jacket.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, I was like, all right, we're no longer friends. And
as you should.
She tried to it's been like 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still angry about it.
You should be.
She tried to just be like, well, it was like folded and it's just a book cover, and I'm just like, get out of my house.
No.
Even if it's folded, put it back on. It can bend back. It can bend back.
Yes, dust jackets can be saved.
You
can repress them.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
So, I mean, it was that was like the breaking point after a culmination of things, but I was just like, cool, we're done. Leave me alone. Which is funny, today on my Facebook memories, it came up with her wishing me a happy belated birthday. How long ago? Well, I have to look. I think it was 13 years ago. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's been 13 years. Right down to the day.
Gross. I do have one that's very recent.
Go for it.
So as you guys know, I used to go to summer camp. Like sleepaway camp.
Yes.
And I had a lot of friends in that, there was a group of us that I would say are probably my closest group of friends, from over my lifetime. I don't talk to most of them anymore just because life happens and we grow apart and we go do our own things, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But I had introduced this new friend to all of my long-term friends at camp one year, and we all got along. We did great. We had a great time. But recently, I come to find out that one of my long-term friends invited this new friend to her wedding and not me. And I was like, okay, sure. Good to know.
Fantastic.
Do not expect to be talking to me anymore.
Wow.
Because I don't talk to this new, like, I don't talk to the friend that I introduced to everyone to anymore. I haven't talked to her in years because she is a narcissistic liar. Like, she posts things on her Instagram, and I hope she listens to this because I never called her out because she would block people if they called her out for on Instagram. And so Emily and we never commented on her stuff. She would literally post pictures and we're like, we know that's not you. Oh, like she would take things off of people's blogs and post it and say it's her. Because it's like silhouettes, so like the back of them. Like no one, it was never her face in the picture.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
You mean like that one post that Ashley Tisdale stole from somebody else where she said it was her, but it wasn't because you couldn't see her face?
Oh shit.
Yeah. So like I've cut her off because I'm just like, I don't need that in my life. I have enough narcissists in my fucking life that I literally have to deal with because I am blood related to them.
Yeah.
But to find out that this friend that I have been friends with since we were like 10 didn't invite me to her wedding, but invited this other I was like,
I mean, I found out my supposed best friend from like middle school, high school was having her wedding and never invited me through Facebook. So
I like, found out that my dad had a whole ass other child through Facebook.
And then at our high school reunion, she tried talking to me like nothing was wrong. And I was just like,
oh, I can't wait.
I was like, you forced your now husband into a relationship with you by getting pregnant. So back the fuck off.
Gross. I can't wait for my like I'm terrified to talk about like my 10-year reunion that's coming up this year. This like upcoming year. But I can't wait to go and just like say fuck you to so many people.
Mine was in the peak of Rona, so we didn't have one.
We waited till August for ours. So like as like the peak was kind of.
Yeah. They just didn't do it. I was like, okay, unless they did and I just didn't know about it.
There were so many people, and it's not even like the popular kids or anything because they were just like they were true to themselves and like they were nice to me, but like I knew we weren't friends. But the people who were like my friends who just dropped me.
You learn quick after high school.
At my reunion, I talked to people that I maybe had like a class with, talked with them the whole time. And it was like, why were we never actually like friends?
Like there's some people that I didn't expect to still be talking to after high school, and they're the only ones I talk to now.
I don't talk to anyone in high school.
I still talk to some of my high school friends, but only the ones that I got closer to later in high school.
People.
Some of the ones I talk to are like the ones that I was in leadership with, or like I like reconnected with like at the gym later in life. But none of the friends that I actually had from high school, like the only one that I still had from high school was the one that I had to leave behind when I moved to Boston. She was my last one.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Man, y'all know I'm quick to drop people, so my reasons are almost always petty.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably the most recent one though was because of spoilers. There had been other things leading up to that moment. But that was just like, you know what? I'm sick of you. Fuck this. And then
is this the person that I think I'm thinking of?
Yes. Because it was spoilers for a very fucking big book for all of us.
Yeah.
Tried to get you to read the ending before.
Fucking pissed. I'm like, no.
But it was more than just trying to get me to read the ending. It was then going around and telling everybody and then having them tell me that I would hate the ending because of the spoiler.
Fun fact, Victoria loved the ending.
I was like,
yeah, and that's why I kept getting so mad because there was literally only one thing that could happen that would ruin the book for me. And it was a character death.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was also like, if that was the thing that happened, she would also be upset.
Yeah.
So I was like, why are you going around telling all of our mutual friends that I'm going to hate the ending and then also commenting in all of these public spaces that I'm going to hate the ending?
Yeah.
For why? What is the point?
My biggest thing was that person going around and like messaging people what the spoilers were without them like asking them what the spoilers were.
Yeah. Well, and I even told them before everything started when we found out that the leak had happened.
We had to all be so careful.
Yeah.
I thought it was fake.
I told them, I was like, if you send me the spoilers or try and tell me the spoilers, I will block you. I will block you everywhere.
And that goes for anything, guys, like moving forward. Unless Victoria, like
unless I'm very explicit about asking for them, do not send me spoilers.
Like you and I are very much the same. It's like, unless I say I want to know what the spoilers is, and you guys know when I'm being serious, I'm just like, no, please tell me, because there's certain situations that I'm just like, no, I need to know this if I'm going to continue reading this book.
Yeah.
Don't say anything.
Yeah.
Don't say anything.
Like there are some things that I'm like, it happens. It's whatever. But there are
like that was one of my favorite endings ever. And if I had gotten that spoiled, I would have
been livid. Yeah.
I'm over here. I read the last chapter.
No, I mean, but you like to though. That's the difference. That's not something that bothers you, which I think.
If I had been told though, I would have been more angry. But since I like saw it out myself,
you sought it out yourself.
Yeah,
and that
you did. There was a spoiler, and you're just like, I want to know.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And if you elect to do so, that's your prerogative. Yeah. Full stop. Go for it.
Yeah.
But do not spoil somebody that is telling you that they don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah.
That's a dick move.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I was like, you know what? We're not going to be friends anymore. And that was it. There were other things that happened, of course.
Yeah.
But that was like, okay, well, this is it. So like looking from the outside in, it looks like a really petty reason to just end it all.
No.
But leading up to that point, it was necessary in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like I said, I've cut shit off for like I didn't talk to my grandma for a good couple of years because she decided to like stage an intervention with my mom, which was stupid because she didn't need an intervention. It was just my grandmother being fucking dramatic and narcissistic per usual. I don't talk to my aunt because she was convinced during the height of the 2020 election that they were gonna come and take her away and put her in a concentration camp because she was a white woman and a Republican. Yeah. They were like, they're gonna snatch me up off the street and put me in a concentration camp because I have different beliefs. And I'm like, no, you think your fucking gay daughter should die. That's your problem. That's not a different belief system.
I'm like, if we're looking at, I'm sorry, I know we don't get political very much here, but I'm like, personally, from the way I see things as like a historian, when you look at the political parties, and Katalyn can agree with me, when you look at the political parties, there is one that lines up a lot more with fascist takes that you see with concentration camps, and that is not the political party that you probably...
Well, and when I stopped talking to her, she was like, well, why don't you talk to me anymore? And I told her why, and she was like, well, I'm just worried. I'm like, bitch, I am Black. If there's anybody out of the two of us in this family that is going to get snatched up off the street, it is me, because that was also when that was happening. Black women were getting snatched up in the middle of the highway. Like, my uncle called me every time I had to drive anywhere. He'd be like, I want you to call me when you leave and when you get to where you're going, because he knew that it was happening. And like, it makes me sad that my uncle leans that way, kind of. He's starting to learn more, especially now that he has much easier access to me and I'm an adult. But he knew, he was aware. He was like, I know that this is happening. I don't want anything to happen to you because we live in an area where it can happen.
Yeah.
So, sorry, my little miniature political rant.
Girl, I will talk all day about politics. Don't get me started.
Maybe one day.
I grew up in my hometown. My hometown is where they had the Rodney King trials. Tell me that hometown is not super red.
Yeah.
It's very red.
I got out.
Love that for you.
but I have to get Riley out. I really got to get Riley out.
You will. Trying my damnedest. So what are some petty things that you all have seen done that just like really get you going? Because one of my favorite things most recently that I've seen, and I live on petty TikTok. I fucking love that place, but probably one of my favorite things that I've seen recently. So we all know the Don't Worry Darling drama.
Yes.
If you don't know what's going on,
how do you not know what's going on?
How?
It's very easy to find. Anyway, probably my favorite thing is, so I guess Olivia Wilde like did an interview or made some comments or something and called Florence Miss Flo.
No, it was like a video or something that like her car.
But she was like being shady. So her Florence's style team, which I do call her Flo, but in like an affectionate way.
Yeah.
Her style team captioned all of their Instagram pictures, Miss Flo.
Miss Flo. I love it.
She looks good though.
The Venice Film Festival.
Oh my God.
So good.
I saw this really quick TikTok. This girl was like, Florence Pugh is to women what white women is to straight women as Ryan Reynolds is to straight men, and we're just like, yes.
Yeah.
But people keep putting her her walking in and like posing and everything to Unholy.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, you all need to stop. Like, I need a moment. I need a moment to breathe. But that's been great.
Kind of going off that with Miss Olivia Wilde.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah. So my roommate and I watched Ted Lasso with Jason Sudeikis. And in season 2, there's some point where Jason has his nails painted. And it is the same colors as Fine Line. So it's kind of calling Harry out. In a way, because that was when like their whole like PR relations, like
everyone knows it was a PR stunt.
Yeah. So yeah, his nails are pink and blue and the same shade as like the Fine Line album. And my roommate
I feel so bad for Harry that he got like dragged into all of that.
But the memes have been immaculate.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Well, and then my other one that I've really loved recently is the My Policeman premiere. His co-star, she had a really long like train on her dress, and it was like his job to like help her like walk around. And so he like was very attentive, carrying it for her, all of that. And then like you see pictures of like Olivia Wilde like holding her dress at the Venice Film Festival, like needing that same kind of assistance, and he's just not even
avoided her at all.
He avoided her at all costs.
I don't blame him.
So, I would too.
Those have been like my favorites so far, like recently.
God, and Chris Pine having to sit in between them. I was like,
poor dad. Our poor dad. But really quick to roll back to Jason Sudeikis. I know that he didn't plan this because you can't.
No.
But the absolute solid that the universe did him by delivering his divorce papers to Olivia Wilde while she was like in the middle of a press junket.
And she was like, is this an updated script? And she was like, oh. And then she was
like the universe really said, all right, dog, you need a win.
Yeah.
Fucking love that moment.
Also 10 out of 10 recommend Ted Lasso if you ever want to watch it.
I have one, and this will help Victoria. I know that you love petty TikTok and you want to talk about it. So I have one that is petty TikTok, but it's Victoria petty TikTok.
Okay.
So a year ago, our group went through a situation.
Oh, you're talking about mine?
Yeah. So a year ago, and it's gonna be a year, like in like a month, guys. Or like 2 months, I think. Was it November? I think it was in November.
Oh Lord.
Anyways, we went through something. Stuff was happening to our group. Whatever. One of our really good friends got banned from something, and
really good friends, my fucking twin.
Really good.
I was like,
like one of our best friends in the group. And Victoria decided to print a picture of said friend.
No, I didn't print it. I just put it up on my iPad.
Okay, and then like put candles around it and just like
I made a shrine.
Made a shrine of this friend. And made sure it like hit the TikTok page of the person that like banned this friend.
Oh yeah.
It was so funny.
Oh,
like
but
the whole
not-
situation
Forgot
was
about
like,
that.
But to add an extra layer to it, if you guys don't know the song Fake Friends, I also had that audio over top of it. So the ending line is sit back and relax. Karma's gonna slap, and it sure as hell did.
Yeah, it did.
it sure as hell did. Also, just like going off of that, Petty is as Petty does. Our group went ahead and did everything that we've done in the last year because this person fucked us over. So we said,
There's anything
okay,
I can live by, it's doing things out of spite.
we're like, okay, so you don't want to hear our voices. Great. We're just gonna do our own thing then.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, so Petty TikTok is one of my favorite places to be. I really love the one that's been going around recently. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't seen the original, which I haven't, I'm hoping that you've at least seen the reactions to it.
The original is, from what I've seen of it, I haven't watched it all the way, but
So everything that I've seen is a stitch to the video. So there's this girl that's, I guess her boyfriend, people keep sending her boyfriend her TikToks, and she's like, okay, if you're gonna keep sending TikToks, send him this one. And she just airs out a whole laundry list of shit. Like how he's 22 and living with his 16-year-old baby mama at her grandma's house and stealing her grandma's snap card.
stealing his mama's snap card.
Oh, his mama's snap card.
Yeah.
How he got said baby mama pregnant at 13. And then how he also got his sister pregnant at 12.
Oh, hell no.
And my favorite thing about these videos is seeing people's like stitches and duets, because they're hysterical. Because everybody's like, oh, the 16-year-old baby mama. They're like, and then they hear the 13 and they're like, excuse me. And then they get to the 12-year-old sister. And probably my favorite stitch that I've seen since is these two military guys. They're like, and then as soon as they hear the 12-year-old sister, you see the shot of them change. It's them coming down the stairs in full military gear. And they're like, let's see who finds them first.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. Petty TikTok is just, it's everywhere. So I also watched the Philip DeFranco show. And he watched that same video. And he will just periodically do like an update Petty videos that he's seen. He showed one the other day of this woman talking about like how she and her husband had been in a swinger group and how she had gotten pregnant and then he had gotten somebody pregnant, and then like she told her husband that he had cheated, but then she found out that her husband was cheating on her with her mom, and that they were going to try and take her kids away. Oh yeah.
Fuck.
It gets deep. It gets really deep.
Oh man.
Absolutely wild. 10 out of 10 would recommend. If you need a break from your own drama, go and live in somebody else's. It's fantastic.
My anxiety couldn't.
But yeah, Petty is as Petty does. Petty things make me happy. Especially when I'm the one doing them. So, you just gotta live life and occasionally make sure people get treated the way that they deserve to be treated. And that they have the day that they deserve.
Live your life in a way that makes you live, laugh, and love. And if that's being petty.
Because if I don't, I'm gonna live, laugh, lobotomize myself. I have the tools to do it. Anyways, now that we've gotten the petty out of our
That note,
Kiara, will you take us out with an affirmation?
Yeah, so today's affirmation is about growth. And
that was some subtle shade.
My way forward is paved with the strength of an open heart and the power of an open mind.
Pass.
I can get behind it.
I hope everyone else takes that and not
I did.
Victoria, because she doesn't want it.
People wrong me or they wrong the people that I care about. You might as well just pray that I leave you alive at that point.
You're not in that like 50 square mile part of Yellowstone where murder is legal.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a good thing you're probably never gonna see my ex in person.
He better hope to God he doesn't see me in person.
Girl, don't worry. I think they're in Arizona.
Anyways.
Thank you all so much for joining us. Make sure to tune in on Tasty Tuesdays and Thirsty Thursdays for all new episodes. Be sure to subscribe and follow our socials listed in the description. Make sure you like, rate, and leave a review for the podcast to help boost us across the platforms. Have a lovely day, and remember, stay thirsty, bitches.